I'm Peggy Snow. I'm the Youth Service Coordinator here at John Hardin High School, and we're really excited because tonight is our second Senior Cafe for the season, and we're really excited because tonight we have a special guest speaker who's going to talk to us about the side hustle and making sure you have all your finances that you need to secure the lifestyle that you want to have. And I'm super excited because we have one of our alumni who has come back and is going to share how she put herself all through college and has achieved all her goals as she's pursuing her life as a community member here in Hardin County. So we have Dr. Ailey Blystone. She's a local dentist, and we're super excited. So, we don't have a big crowd, but we have a crowd. So let's get started.
I was born in the Philippines. I came when I was 9 years old, so with my family, and then I went to New Highland Elementary School, Bluegrass Middle School, and then of course John Hardin. So I graduated in 2013. I know that seems like a long time ago, but I guess it's almost 10 years now. But graduated in 2013, and then I went to the University of Kentucky. Graduated in 2017, so I got my bachelor's degree in human nutrition. So I did that as a pre-dental, which means I was planning on going to dental school or professional school. So I had a lot of friends who were pre-med as well, so any pre-professional. But I was human nutrition major, graduated in 2017, and then after that I went to San Francisco, California. I did dental school there, so University of California, San Francisco. So yeah, I was there for 4 years. I just came back like almost 2 years ago now, which is crazy because I feel like I was just there, but it also feels like I've been a dentist for a long time. So, but anyway, so I know the topic is side hustle, so I'm going to talk to you guys about how I put myself through college. So undergrad or bachelor's degree was it was paid for. So I went to, like I said, UK. Senior year, kind of building from sophomore year to junior year. I had a lot of help from like Miss Snow. She's so awesome. Like a lot of help from a lot of teachers. So I'm a first generation college student. You guys know what that means? You do? Okay, what does it mean? You don't know?
Like the first to go through that college.
Yeah, first to go to college. Like because my parents didn't go to college, so their highest education was high school. So it classifies me as a first generation college student. Luckily though, my sister went to college first, so she was able to guide me as well. But she went to HCEC-TV here and then U of L. I went straight to UK. So I think maybe beginning of senior year, I was always in the counselor's office. Ms. Graziano, I'm not sure if she's still here, but she was my counselor. Oh, okay. Well, I was always bugging her and annoying her. I'm like, hey, has any scholarships come in yet? Because there's so many locally here that people don't know about. So I know you guys are seniors, one junior, but definitely, if you didn't, that's okay, but there's so many local scholarships that people didn't know about, so I always came in. There were probably maybe 15 to 20 that I applied to, got maybe half of them, worth $10,000 at least. So I was able to do that. There's also Keys Money. You guys are familiar with Keys Money, so that's automatic, ACT, GPA from high school, so I got that. A William C. Parker scholarship, that's a minority scholarship at UK that I also received. So that all paid for tuition every single year at UK. Women Board, I got money from the $10,000 local. And then grant money, so depending on your family's income. So I got some grant money also. So all of that combined allowed me to go to undergrad through college for free. So I graduated debt-free from undergrad. Senior year though, after I applied to dental school, I was like, do whatever I want pretty much. So I started a Filipino club, so I think it's still going, hopefully. And then I also worked 3 different jobs senior year. So what do you guys think a side hustle is, like definition for you guys? What do you think it means?
You have like something that you love to do and then you make a little extra money out.
So I think of side hustle just as you guys said, saying something that is like you're full-time at something, but then it's like a side thing that allows you to make a little extra money. So so that's kind of, I feel like the theme of our generation now is like side hustle, right? Like people are like TikTokers or like Instagram influencers, and then they have their own job. So I would say senior year of college, I had 3 side hustles, I guess. So I worked 3 different jobs. Like I said, I had the scholarships, but I'm like extra money would be good because I was going to I thought I was going to San Francisco at the time. I didn't know obviously, but football games I worked at, and I was an elevator girl, so that's seasonal, right? So it's not all year. I worked at the football games. I also was a TA, teacher's assistant, for a human nutrition class. So that was all online. All I had to do was grade papers, like 23 students. So that was fun. And then I was also a receptionist at the biology building department. So I just sat there, did my homework, study, whatever. Maybe lost and found a couple times for people, and then brought cookies to events and talks. So that was a lot of fun. So I did all of that, 3 jobs, senior year. Before that, I was like, I need to focus on this. But I also did, over the summers and spring break, fall breaks, I worked with Dr. Hardin here. He's awesome. She's an oral surgeon. I was a really busy college. Like, it went by really fast because every summer I'd be doing either a program or working. So now that I'm thinking about it, I had a lot of side hustles. But it's good. It's nice because, I was a student, but also I had fun doing other stuff. But in dental school, I didn't apply to a lot of scholarships. There's not a lot of available money, but there's also like a lot of grant money. So in California, I think the tuition was the same amount or maybe a little less than if I went to in-state. So it's a public university. We didn't have an undergrad. So UK has, you can get your bachelor's degree, then there's medical school, dental school. UCSF was strictly dental, medical school, physical therapy, nursing. So anyway, I went there for school, took out loans. So I graduated debt-free from college. The average, you guys may not know this, but what do you guys think the average amount of debt people graduate from if they went to medical school, dental school?
I'm gonna guess $40,000.
Okay. A lot? Okay. You want to guess?
No, take it. Okay. A lot.
A lot. So yeah, it's a lot. It's like $350,000 to $400,000.
Okay.
But that's including undergrad. So I was lucky and fortunate that I didn't have undergrad loan. You guys seem like you're involved. So a little side note, I was involved in first gen organization at UCSF. I just volunteered a lot, whatever. And towards the end, they gave me like $20,000. And I was like, what? Like, it was really cool. But anyway, throughout dental school, though, COVID hit, and I was like kind of getting bored, and I wanted to make extra money. Like, I had no income, right? My husband did, though, but I was like, I want to do something fun. So I actually started a boutique first. So online boutique, I bought clothes overseas, like wholesale, got them delivered to my 600 square feet apartment in San Francisco, and then took pictures. I was kind of modeling them. My husband took pictures. I bought like a wallpaper so he can take pictures, nice pictures, and then I posted them online, just Instagram. And then I got into these earrings that I actually bought from Kentucky. So this lady made clay earrings. I'm like, what is that? They were really chic, big clay earrings, handmade. And so I was like, okay, I'll sell these at my boutique. But then it's like, the clothes that I was getting overseas, it was getting a lot. Like I had a small apartment. It was a lot of space that I needed. I got into these earrings. So I'm like, maybe I'll just make them myself. So I stopped the boutique. I donated the clothes that I didn't sell. And then I just started, making the earrings myself during COVID. So I used my oven, and, it was fun. Sold them to my dental school friends. And then some teachers like your earrings, like okay, and I sold them for such cheap at the time. So I kind of did that on the side. I graduated obviously, and then I wanted to still continue it. So I moved back. My husband and I moved back to Kentucky. It was super expensive in San Francisco. If you guys haven't heard, it's probably like the most expensive in the U.S. next to New York City. But so I moved back to Kentucky. That was almost 2 years ago. We were in northern Kentucky, so Cincinnati. I wanted to people say, and I kind of do believe this, if you do want to make money out of your hobby, don't treat it as a hobby, treat it as a job. So I was like, okay, let me make this an LLC. You guys know what an LLC is? Like a limited liability corporation. Yeah, so it's kind of like a small business. It is like a company, so anyone can make an LLC. It just makes it official. It has tax benefits, all that good stuff. So I made it an LLC. It's called Telegal. And went through the process of that. Because I'm like, even if it fails, at least I went through the process of how to make an LLC and also payroll. So I hired my mom officially. So I put her through payroll and called paychecks, and that was fun. But I got pregnant, and I have a super cute baby now, but 10 months old. And I didn't think I could put 100% in it. So I'm like, I tried, I went to fairs. It did really well online, but it was just a lot of time. You bake them, you design them, mold them, bake them, put holes, put them together. So I'm like, I don't think I can actually put it all the time. So I'm just, I didn't tell you, but I'm in the process of closing it now because it was just a lot of time. But I'm like, you know, it's a side hustle. I tried, but if I can't put everything in it, I didn't want to continue it. So there's that, but I still made some money with it. Probably invested more than I made, but you know, it's okay. I learned through it. But so those are my side things, but there's more that I want to talk about in terms of what I'm going into now, or what we want to go into, but I kind of want to take a break and ask you guys what you want to do, because that way I kind of have I should have done this earlier, have an idea where you guys are going. You want to go first?
I'm film, obviously.
Nice.
I also like to do art. And one of my teachers, actually, because we had an art gallery, she wanted to buy my piece that I put in there.
Wow. So like paintings and stuff?
It was a drawing.
Drawing? Oh, that's cool.
I want to go into acting.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Connection, networking, okay.
and I also sing. I was in a musical this year and last year for the school. And I also do role play with my friends. So
You
I like
do- you
that.
do what?
Role play.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, for me, I do want to go to the Air Force and probably do animations for stuff and programming probably.
Oh, okay.
It's my plans, but
That's
vice
awesome.
versa, you know.
Yeah.
Either full-timing programming and animation and then part-time Air Force, or other way around.
There's the side hustle, right? So you can do Air Force and then
And
side
then
hustle
do
that.
commissions for people if they want stuff animated and whatnot.
That's cool. Well, I guess right now, with going back to like my story, like I'm an entrepreneur. I love anything business. So I've always loved doing that stuff. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, if I just go into business right away, like I don't have any foundation or capital, like it's gonna take me so long to get there, to get to where I wanna be. So I'm like, what can I do to kind of get me established, build a foundation, and then use that capital or money to go into something else that I wanna do. So had a lot of cavities growing up. I always looked for ways to make my teeth look good, and then I also like science. So I'm like, okay, dentistry seems pretty cool, so I went into that. And so now I'm in that job. I love it. It's really rewarding. It is tiring for sure, because like extractions can be like a workout. But yeah, so now I have that money coming in, and so now my husband and I are like, okay, where can we, funnel into the extra funds that we have besides spending? So now, since I'm closing Telegal, which is the earring business, we want to go into real estate. So that's something that we're looking into. And right now the housing market is crazy, but you guys heard of house flipping and all that stuff, house hacking, and yeah. So I think your guys' generation now are looking more into that. Like I follow this lady, she's like 25 and she has like 30 units, and I'm like, how she did that is crazy. But yeah, so that's what we're going into now, kind of doing research on that. But also I want to talk to you guys about networking. Are you guys pretty close with some of your teachers, you think? Or yeah, okay, that's really good. Okay, that's good, because you can go back to them if you're applying for a job, college, whatever. I know you guys are past that, but you ask for recommendations, and that's a skill that no one can really teach you. I feel like you have to put yourself out there. So that's something that, especially in film, I feel like that's networking and knowing people is really where it's at. I feel like networking is something that you can use, put yourself out there, and for me, I love dentistry now, but I've always wanted to go into something else in addition to that. So I really wanted to do community dentistry, which the only community dental clinic that I know of here is in Louisville. So I would have to drive every day, which is fine, but that's something that's in the back of my mind. I can always do mission trips. I convince myself, I'm like, hey, I don't have to go into it right away. I can do mission trips. So that's something. But yeah, so. I would say for me, I have so many more things I want to do. So it's like, if you want to do something, it doesn't have to be now. Like sometimes you have to do something that you don't want to do to get there. But I actually do love dentistry though. So it's kind of like a win-win for me, I guess. But yeah, so that's kind of like a little nutshell there. But the main things are definitely network. ask for help, because I feel like I had a lot of friends who were like, I'm just gonna figure it out on my own. But I feel like if it's gonna take me 2 hours to figure it out, I can just ask someone who already has done it. Like, another thing that I go by is, if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're probably in the wrong room, because you want to make sure that you can use someone else's knowledge other than yours. Obviously, if you're an expertise on something else, you want to expand your knowledge, hire an accountant or hire a team or something, you know. So yeah.
Well, you all can see Aileen's pretty self-motivated. And she had all this energy, and she's sitting in here sitting. And she would think about, she was methodical in her thinking. Like, okay, I think I need a service project. I should have a service project on my application, or I need this. The first thing she came to me about was she thought she should be able to play a sport. What sport could she play? What could she learn to play? And here at John Hardin, you can learn to play tennis. Anybody can. We have a small team. So she went and learned how to play tennis. You talked to some people, see if they would teach you how to play tennis. You met up with some people that you kind of knew. You knew them, but you weren't like big buddies with them. But she got a friend to teach her how to play tennis. She went to the tennis team. She joined my club. You know, my club's about as small as can be. She joined RC-SAD, and she created all kinds of things. She brought her two cousins along and her brother, and they just created service projects. They would come in and say, can we do this, this, and this? And she made a whole PowerPoint. We went over to Bluegrass, maybe when you all were little and were over there, and she would think about what she needed in order to achieve something and plan it all out. Same with the side hustle. So at that point, her side hustle was getting into college, and getting into college in a way that she didn't have to pay for it. And when it came to there was no Miss Cobb then who was going to help with scholarships. She went out and found them all. And so that self-motivation and kind of thinking, pondering, what do I need? What will make this happen? Not waiting for someone to give you the information, but like, okay, you want to be an actress? Where am I going to have to live to do that? Well, I'm not going to live in E-Town. I'm going to have to live in at least Louisville. I'm going to have to do a few things. I'm going to have to be in these plays here. I'm going to have to push myself so I'm in the starring role. Just putting your things out, but thinking, what do I need to get where I want to go? And maybe where I want to go will change. And then the other thing, like she said, Ailey talked about networking. Over these years, she just texts me every now and then. Hey, Miss Snow, da-da-da-da-da. Hey, Miss Snow, and what do you think of this, or could you help with that? People always are willing to help someone else. They really are. They like to do that. So the teachers now, even if, say like Mr. Yates, he's retiring, but he also is at ECTC. So you make contact with him, say, would you happen to be a reference for me as time goes on, get his personal cell, and then you have him, because maybe you just need some advice from him sometime. He's done everything. So look at the people in the school that are people that could help you. I think that was great advice.
Yeah, Miss No, I couldn't have said it better. But don't be afraid to network, because again, you never know who you're gonna encounter again, right? And people want to help, like Miss No said. I mean, throughout college, mentorship is really important.
You see something you like, you see a career, ask the person, how'd you get there? No, don't just think, oh gosh, they got a nice job, I wish I could have that. No, ask them, how'd you get there? Because that person just didn't all of a sudden one day pop and say, for myself, so I teach yoga. That person didn't just all of a sudden own a yoga class or yoga studio. They did things. So you have to ask, how did you get there? Or the person just automatically didn't make animation. They did some things. So you find a good animator, you call them, you email them, hey, tell me some of the places you suggest I go to learn about this. And then when you don't ask them to really do anything too hard, like you didn't ask them to give you a job, you're just asking them where to go to learn. Then all of a sudden he's going to go, oh gosh, like this guy. You ask for something, but not a hard thing. So.
Yeah, that's so true, yes. But like Miss No said, just reiterating what she said, people want to help, and people, they've gone through it, they just want to give that knowledge out. Like, a lot of dentists that I knew, like Dr. Hardin, he is so nice. He was my mentor, and he still is. I text him pretty much a couple times a week. Like, keep in touch with people that you think are going to help you along the way, or even if not, like it's one skill that I feel like no one really teaches you. You just have to really go out there and ask, and you're really motivated. And going back to self-motivation, my parents are a big motivator for me. They still are now. So they work really hard, and I kind of labor demanding jobs, right? So I kind of funneled in that mindset of working really hard into school, and so this is where I am. And I feel like it just flew by. I feel like I was just here again, and then college, and then dental school. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm a dentist. I know things, I guess, and people ask advice, and it's just, it's pretty cool. It's pretty nice. But, now I have more freedom into how I want to spend, funds and invest, and so that's like the next thing that I really want to do. And so
And
that's
you
where
really
I'm at.
surrounded yourself with motivated people.
Yeah,
Even when she
yeah.
was in school, her cousins that went here, they were really motivated. It's not so much that you always need it like it's a financial hardship,
Yeah.
but maybe it's the cushion
Yeah.
that makes it so you're not worrying so much. Or maybe it's putting it aside for some extra thing in the future. I have a nephew who does, his main job is with Bitcoin, but then he makes music and then he draws. And he has these different, music on Spotify, and he, has drawings and just, I kind of think of him as a Renaissance man, because he's created this career. And then his wife is an eye doctor. So she just does that, and it's, but lots of flexibility, and I think that you all have some creative juices. It sounds like the acting will be good. So I think that is something that people don't realize. There is a future in it. You know what I mean? Like, your first instinct is, oh, that's going to be really hard. But then when you think about all the different pockets of acting, there's a lot of opportunity.
And the sky's the limit too. Like, I don't know if you guys do this or have done this, but I used to I still do this, write my goals out because I want to see them. And I'm trying to get into vision boards now where you can see where you want to go. And I sometimes have a hard time with this, but I tell myself, like, if it doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. So I've written stuff down, and I'm like, if I show that to someone, they'll be like, haha, sure, that's so funny. So that stuff like that, like something that, dream as big as you can. I mean, it's, again, sky's the limit, right? And as long as you're motivated, I think that's one thing. Find something that motivates you, who inspires you. Why do you want to be an actor, right? Why do you want to be an actor?
What?
Is it just something that you're like, okay, this has been my goal forever, or something that I want to be an actor because I want to get to here to a certain point, or? Sorry, I put you on the spot.
It's something I've been into since I was a kid.
Okay.
Because whenever I was like alone in my room, I'd always act out to myself.
I'm sure a lot of these actors, that's what they've done. Yeah, but that's how it's been. Yeah.
Yeah, I still do it. It's just that I want to go into because it's so fun for me.
Yeah.
And to like get to different characters and like have different personalities is always
Yeah.
I always find that fun.
So what have you done up to this point to kind of go that route?
I've
Oh,
done
of course, the musicals. Yeah.
I did a thing with him.
Okay.
Awesome. And obviously I've done the role plays. I was in dance for like 4 years. I'm used to being on stage.
Yeah.
And then I'm obviously in choir. I'm on stage there too.
That's
So I guess
awesome.
being on stage is really fun for me.
Yeah. And is this something like, do you want to move to like LA or kind of like stay local in Louisville, and then because there's a lot of, actually I looked into them, Heyman talent in Louisville. Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm probably gonna stay just local. I don't want to go anywhere big.
hey, you know what? It's again, sky's the limit.
But there is,
right?
because there's the Horse Cave Theater. There's a theater there. Of course, in the Knoxville area and Nashville area, a lot of acting, and that's just, Nashville's just 2 hours south of us. And of course, there's been quite a few local, or not local, but Kentucky things done in eastern Kentucky over the years. And so, there's a lot. And there's quite a few talent agents in Louisville.
Yeah.
A lot of commercials anyway, for sure.
You guys are obviously very motivated, to be here. But
Well, it's hard, all the seniors are working. So it is hard. They all
okay,
like,
okay.
I have a job, I have a job, I have a job.
Oh,
So
yeah.
everybody seems to have work a lot, but
yeah.
we, even if it's a small program, we're still happy.
Yeah, and again, every opportunity you get, right, to learn something from someone else. Like I was always, well, I was just a little extra, but I was always there. Like I always showed up, and like Miss No said, be methodical in like how you want to do things. Like I'm going back to the actor thing because you have experiences, build up your portfolio, and then find an agent, right? And then for you, like, are you applying to the Air Force already? Or you've applied?
No,
Okay.
Not yet.
Do you know someone who's in the Air Force?
My oldest brother is.
Oh, there you go. Great resource. Okay, so you kind of know where you're heading and stuff. Yeah, and NKU again is a great school. And then you're all set too, because WKU. Yeah, that's awesome. You do those film festivals where you can submit your short film.
It's a lot of money.
Oh, is it? Okay. I wasn't sure because the short film that I did with my friend, they submitted it somewhere, and I wasn't sure.
Competitions, like school competitions where you can submit a piece.
Oh, okay.
But there's one they're doing, I think, over the summer, but it's expensive.
How much is it?
It's like $300,
Oh,
like
okay.
to submit a piece.
Okay.
Hence the side hustle.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
exactly.
sometimes
Exactly.
you come up with the side hustle for those little things, and sometimes you don't know what you're going to do with them. I mean, that's what kind of with me and the yoga, it's not something that I just like to do yoga, but then I decided to go and become a teacher and went through my training, and now I get paid for going up there yakking and teaching and do it, and
I need to take your class.
you
I
do.
need to take your schedule. Yes,
Yeah, you
yes,
need to
I
come.
know that.
But, I only teach a couple classes a week, and then it's like $400 a month that I earn. And so I just use it for anything.
Might as well, you're already there anyway, right?
I just, so you don't have to worry so much if you wanted to go out to eat or whatever. Or I just buy stuff for the center.
You're so
Buy
nice,
extra
Miss
stuff. But it's good stuff. But do you all have any questions for Ailey? Anything you're
Yeah.
wondering about?
I love questions. I thought you're boring,
Okay. Well, I think you all need to look at Ailey as a resource. She lives in this community. Her sister Anli was equally just motivated and was neat as well. And really, I just think that you really have to seek out some things that you want, and don't be hesitant to try. The fact that you came tonight is a good sign, because you were willing to come, even though you all know the odds of a lot of people coming to my show is small. But that's the way it is with everything these days, because people after COVID, people are hesitant to move and go. So they go out once a day and then they go home to their homes. They're hesitant to continue to put themselves out there during a day. It's going to be that way as you go through college. Everyone you're going through college with has experienced the lockdown, and they're less likely to put themselves out there and reach for things. If you do that, the odds are you're going to achieve something, because everyone's a little behind the curve. And that's just, you can see it with the workforce. People aren't walking out of their house going to their jobs. People just aren't moving. And you guys are moving. You're coming out. So it was a great program tonight with Dr. Blystone, Ailey. We loved hearing about her side hustles that helped put her all the way through graduate school, her dental program at USC San Francisco. And it was just a neat, casual night. We were so blessed to have her come and be a partner of John Hardin as she comes back and shares her knowledge with our students. It was a great night.